it might seem a little bit perverse to talk about the Brazilian goalkeeper, but if they're going to win this, as much as they're good at one end, they need to be good defensively, and Alisson was in fantastic form tonight.
He was, and I always think it's incredible when a goalkeeper doesn't really have to do anything in the first half and then comes out with an incredible save. You know, he's sort of cold, hadn't had anything to do in the first half, and then he does this. An incredible save, you know, a great shot from Hwang. But look at that save, you know, top hand. And you got to remember as well, he's keeping out Ederson, who's the Man City goalkeeper. You're two of the probably number one goalkeepers in the world. You know, Brazil have got those to choose from, and this is why really he's keeping Ederson out, because of these types of saves.
And this is the professionalism, isn't it, Roy? You're 4-0 up, but your goalkeeper he's the one player really not interested in easy.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed with this. Listen, he can't do much with this. I think there's a couple of deflections along the way, but he'll be disappointed. But he'll still be, in terms of the saves he made, nice gesture coming off there. But again, we've said it many times before, an outstanding goalkeeper.
Yep, Weverton coming on means that all 26 of the Brazilian players have actually taken to the field in this World Cup. We talked about that marriage of work rate and skill before the game. We saw it today, didn't we? Again.
Yeah, it's very easy to point out all the things they've done correct, and that first half, most of it was. But the hard yards is sometimes a thing that the really talented, skillful players don't always buy into. But they were doing that, you know, in the first half. They were hunting it together. As I said, even Neymar, you know, his attitude at times was questionable. Look at this, three of them come hunt that ball down. That guy gets fouled eventually, but they show an appetite, which
and that's at 4-0.
You see an appetite which to win the ball back into the hard yards, which you don't always get from the silky players.
That's only the second goal they've conceded in the tournament, you know. So that starts from the front, as we showed, you know, early on in the show with Richarlison. And, you know, we've showed there the collective pressing to get the ball back and then express themselves.
Richarlison did it again this evening, didn't he? Again, the two sides of the game. You need to get in this team with the level of competition for places.
That what makes a great team. Of course, is when you're out of possession, what you can, because you've got the talent, and we've seen it tonight. It was great. It was a joy to watch it live. And this goal is just, again, I love the fact is South Korea couldn't get the second win, but Brazil, two centre-halves connecting, first touch. I'd watch this all day.
That's a poor header.
Roy,
that's a poor header.
They couldn't get up to speed. They couldn't get going the first half. Again, they were 2-0 down after 15 minutes, no way back. But the first touch, the speed of the passing, it's so, they make it look so simple, but it's not. Even the way that this pass has come to the first time, that's a centre half. Striker, love it. Honestly, I'd watch that all day. Fantastic.
Are you content now to see and say that they're favourites?
Yeah, but I think for the other big teams, I think for England watching that tonight, they'll be saying to themselves, well, we'd be a very different team to what Korea were. Korea played the naivety, which was beyond belief at this stage in the World Cup. They really did. What kind of game did they think they were going to get against Brazil tonight, other than a Brazil that want to get on the front foot, they want to show how clever they are. Get into the game. Half an hour clean sheet, 25 minutes clean sheet, and see where the game's taking you. But from minute one, they thought we'll take Brazil on a slugfest. There was always going to be just one winner. It was naive.
I mean, they left two up right at the start, didn't they? You were all saying, what are they doing here?
Naive in the extreme.
Yeah, it was too much for them. But again, listen, it's easy when you're sitting there. They stuck at it the second half. Okay, Brazil switched off and they're getting ready for the next game. But they stuck at it, they got a goal, and they took something out of the second half. You give them a little bit of credit for that.
I actually think, you know, South Korea scored in the final added minutes in the last game. I think the emotion of all of that, a lot of them were crying, they were really emotional after the last game. Maybe that sort of, they brought that into this game. They couldn't really focus and get their heads on in terms of tactically what they needed to do to stop Brazil, because it was very emotional, you know, the last game, and credit to them. But the first half, you know, they to set up like that against Brazil, they were really asking for it. But second half, and they got a goal.
The World Cup pot then is getting bigger. Here is how you can go and win it. Richarlison's having an extremely good World Cup, and Neymar, with his blonde locks, fit again, back on the pitch. Roy, what about Neymar? That's in a way a perfect game for him, just to ease back into it, wasn't it?
Perfect. Obviously, he missed the last couple of games. He's back. He scored tonight. He's had his hair cut. He's dancing well. The feel-good factors there. Physically, the game wasn't that draining for the players. You look at Croatia, where they're playing extra time penalties, which all helps in the preparation. But again, the feel-good factors there. They're enjoying their football. They're scoring goals. We saw in the first half how brilliant they are. Huge goal threat. Croatia do well to stop them.
Is that the way you think it'll go with Brazil going forward? Neymar very much floats, and Paquetá and Casemiro, well, they clearly don't keep the back door locked, because Paquetá's quite an attacking player as well. But do you imagine that's how those three will operate?
Yeah, and I think, you know, Rafinha and Vinicius Junior on either side of Richarlison, that seems like a settled front three. Rafinha's got to be disappointed he hasn't scored tonight. You know, he's paying me with high-scoring games if he didn't score as a striker. But he's had some really good chances, so it'll be interesting to see if Brazil change out Rafinha, maybe bring in Martinelli. But Neymar in that sort of 10 role, it's almost like a free role, and he joins in and you know, does his stuff and expresses himself. When they all play together and connect together, it's a joy to watch.
You can't tether Neymar. You don't want to tether Neymar, do you?
Say that again.
You don't want to tether Neymar, do you? You want to let him go?
I want to see more from him. He's got incredible ability. He was heir apparent to the throne of Messi and Ronaldo, but he's not picked the baton up for me. I'm not sitting here saying he's not an extremely talented man. There's things about him that are easy on the eye. I just find it slightly frustrating that, you know, when it's going well for him, he wants to show how clever he is all the time and make it look that it's very easy for him. I'm not being a killjoy, because some of the football tonight was fabulous, but, you know, I'm thinking, and he'd be the exact same if he was out there. You would have emptied him tonight, some of his antics with his showboating, but he is great on the eye for some people.
Up against Croatia, World Cup finalists, of course, last time, and they've had a magnificent generation, and they're still going midfield. Kovacic, Modric, Brozovic, Perisic, are they their third oldest squad? Would that worry you ahead of the Brazil
Well, they
game?
won't be overawed going into play Brazil, like I think the Koreans were tonight. It was one or two things. They were completely overawed, or their game plan was just a total shambles. I mean, they tried to win it from minute one. I think Croatia, as you said, an experienced team, will be a very different game. I expect them to start off cautiously, see where the game takes you. If you concede one, still stay tight. You know, don't go chasing it. And then you get into the second half, and then if you feel you have to chase it. But I thought Brazil for 45 minutes, this easy on the eye, but they had a very easy game against a very ordinary and naive Korea this evening.
I think Croatia would do well to watch how Serbia stopped Brazil in that first game. I know it feels like ages ago it was the first game, but if you watch that game back, Serbia blocked out the centre of the pitch and forced it out wide, and then sort of doubled up out wide, and players started getting frustrated. Neymar started getting frustrated. Second half was different. You know, they got the goals, but I think that was a very good way of stopping Brazil getting into their flow, certainly in the first half.
Croatia certainly won't be so open, obviously, as we've seen tonight, but they'll be up for the fight. These are spirited lads and huge experience, and again, what Graham said, they won't be overawed. But you just think player per player, momentum with Brazil, you know, as I said, it'll be hard to stop them.
Choreographed celebrations, maybe a little bit Mickey-taking as well. And Graham asked us at the start of the game why Brazil were favourites for the World Cup. Maybe we now know. Jogo bonito, is it? The beautiful game.
I mean, if you had said to Brazil, how do you want Korea to play tonight? It's exactly like that. Let's make it a slugfest. Let's take Brazil on and try not to score them. They've been an absolute shambles, Korea. I mean, they've been fabulous, Brazil, on the front foot, great individual skills, a couple of great goals, collective goals, but it's just been way too easy. I mean, it could be 7 or 8.
I can't believe what I'm watching, really. Obviously, brilliant from Brazil. It's a lovely finish there. Fantastic, a great start to the game, the first few minutes. South Korea all over the place. Look, I've never seen so much dance. It's like watching Strictly. I just can't believe what I'm watching. I really can't. Brazil, fantastic. South Korea, my goodness, I can't believe what I'm watching.
I love it. I think we're at a Brazilian party. You know, this is why Brazil are the favourites. This is part of their personality, their flair. But South Korea have made it easy. You know, they're playing 3v3 at the back. If they've done any studying, they would have seen how Serbia set up against them in the first game. This is the penalty incident. I do think he's a penalty.
That must have really hurt Richarlison, eh?
Yeah.
Someone kicking his studs.
Jung, but there's no way that's going to get overturned, because he's clearly the defender has kicked him.
But look at this penalty.
What's this?
I mean,
Lewandowski did this yesterday.
It's personality. You know, you can say, oh, you know, they're not respecting South Korea, but I think that Neymar would have done that against most teams. It's just they're enjoying themselves out there. It's a party.